quite agree with the book here because I try to find other information on the web as well, but because this is the main text, so I'll try to stick with this. In the book, it talks only about model, no pattern, but we can roughly see that when we look at the model, it's like it is in global character of the data. But when we look at the pattern, maybe somehow the model can't fit the whole data set. So we look at a specific area, the local area of the data, and see the like the local pattern. Okay, so the next one will be, so what is the difference between data mining and database? Before we go to this one, for those who just coming in, this is the last time I will show this page. That maybe about the syllabus, you just go to the web page and then see all the information. All the information should be in there, except that this is the book, and the book is not available for about 2 months. So I put the draft of the book in the web page in case that you want to see, even though the draft is not quite the same as the final. He will miss everything. Oh, they will. Oh, so many. So I have to be tough to get half of you out before the the drop deadline. So okay, so let's go to see what is the difference between data mining process and the database processing. Like the query. The data mining, the query is kind of fuzzy. It's not a precise. So I think that most of you know SQL. Anybody doesn't know SQL? Oh, okay. So do you have any background on database? So it's basic database language, the relational database language, to try to query and then retrieve some specific information on the database, like a subset of database. So when you want to retrieve some information on a database, like if the database is the database of sale, and then it has so many attributes, and then you want to see give me all the sales that the location of the sale will be on the eastern part, and the amount will be greater than 500 or something like that. So that is the basic SQL query. Try to just locate information that the user needs. But you can see that the structure of the query will be quite precise. That for the greater than 500, it will be greater than 500. It's not like I will give the example later on, but you will see that the query for the data mining will be poorly defined. And up to now, even though there are many proposals on the query language, but there is no one single standard like SQL and database community. But I think that it will be one. There will be one, but I don't know when. Maybe in next decade or so, or maybe next few years. And data, for the second difference, the data, if you look at the database, mostly it will be operational. That means it keeps, like the sale, for example, it keeps just like the transaction of the sale, and then it doesn't keep the historical data. It may be like 2 or 3 years, and then later on it will erase. The database administrator will erase all the old data because it's not related to any operation of company or so. But for the data mining application, most of them, since one model is a predictive, so it has to keep historical data as well, and the format will be a little different from the database, but mainly it will be non-operational. The output also for the data mining, it will be fuzzy. That is, it's vague. Even though this is you know this is the model, but you don't know precisely, or the pattern is, it has to be going up or something like that, but it's not precise. That is the basic of the data mining, and the outputs are in the form of models or patterns, while in database it will be subset of the data set or database, or its aggregate, like the sum, the average, or something like that. And the output will be precise. You run the same SQL query for the on the same database, you will get the same output every time. You run the same query on the same set of data, in the output may be fuzzy depending on the model that you choose. Okay, go ahead.
What is the relation between model and pattern?
Like I said, the model, we look it as a global character of the data, of the output, or of the data that we are looking at. But for the pattern, it will be local. But you don't have to make all the difference here, since the book here, it will be just model. But I want you to know, like, in a general discussion, there will be sometimes it will in the data mining community, they will use patterns as well, which is like some interesting information that you extract from the data set.
Then does the pattern in the subset of the model?
It may not be so. For example, like if you can fit the model into the data, it's like you can describe the whole data using just one single model, like maybe the statistical model, something like that. But for the pattern, maybe the data, the real and the weird thing about the real world data sets, they are hard to represented by all of the statistical data model. So maybe you just look at one part of it, and then here is the pattern. Hey, this is like going up or whatever. That is the like local pattern, and for the other part of that data set, you cannot find specific pattern. You may find just noise or something like that. So sometimes it's not like given a data set, you will always find an interesting pattern or model. You may find one, or you may not find one, or you may find a model that may be interesting but is not useful or something like that. So it is still the active research, I think, to improve all of this. And even though, for example, for some previous slides, we talk about the automated process, and still now it is not fully automated. So sometimes we have to have like human intervention to look at the data and try to help the system, because it's you can think like this. It's pretty hard to look at the data set. Like, I don't know, maybe if you have a company and you have all the database, like sales, product, the stock, the inventory, and you ask one question, how to improve the profit, and ask to maybe a very bright programmer that is specialized on data mining, and how can you design a program that without any human intervention look at all the data you have and then answer that question? It's still hard, right?
You am right if I say that in 1 minute that you can find more than one pattern.
Yes, it is possible. So it's like maybe the models that you can fit is more than one model as well, depending